Listen up, fellas. If a woman comes to you with her problems, you've got exactly two choices, and only one of them will actually get you what you want. The other, that's how you end up in the friend zone, holding her purse while she texts some Chad. You're about to learn which one to pick. Based Hades here, back from the underworld, and today we're tearing down another one of those pretty little lies society feeds you about women and relationships. Let's get straight to it. You see, men and women are fundamentally wired differently when it comes to communication, especially around problems. And your inability to grasp this distinction is why you consistently miss the mark, consistently find yourself baffled, and consistently get relegated to the nice guy category. It's not about being nice, it's about being effective, understanding the game, and playing it to win. The fundamental misconception, men versus women in problem solving. Let me lay it out for you, based on my extensive personal experience. When a man has a problem, his primary objective is to find a solution. He wants to identify the obstacle, analyze the variables, and implement a fix. This is a linear, results-oriented process. When he talks about his problems with another man, it's often a collaborative search for a pragmatic solution, or at least a sounding board to refine his own. Now, take that masculine blueprint and throw it out the window when you're dealing with a woman. Because when a woman brings you her problems, 90% of the time, and I'm being generous here with the remaining 10%, she is not looking for you to fix anything. She's not handing you a technical manual and asking you to troubleshoot. Your brain immediately switches into problem solver mode because that's what you would want. And that, my friends, is your first and most critical mistake. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of female psychology, and it's sabotaging your interactions. Your fatal error, the one that drains attraction faster than a vampire at a blood bank, is treating her emotional release as a work order. You hear, "My boss is being an asshole," and your brain immediately fires off solutions. Have you talked to HR? Maybe you should look for another job. You need to stand up for yourself. Every single one of those responses, well-intentioned from your masculine perspective, is actively pushing her away, diminishing her emotional experience, and positioning you as a helpful drone rather than a desirable man. She doesn't want your solutions. She wants your presence. She wants your emotional container. She wants to be heard, not fixed. And this distinction is paramount. When you try to fix her, you're implicitly telling her she's broken, that her emotional experience is something to be tidied up, processed, and moved on from quickly. You're dismissing her internal world. That's a low-status move, my friend. It reeks of insecurity, of a man who can't handle the raw, unadulterated female emotional spectrum without immediately trying to compartmentalize it. Her real motives, why she's telling you. So, if she's not looking for solutions, what is she looking for? This is where it gets interesting, and where you separate yourself from the herd of clueless supplicants. 1. Emotional release and validation. First and foremost, she's seeking an outlet. Women process emotions differently. For many, speaking about an issue, venting, expressing the frustrations, fears, or sadness associated with it, is the process of dealing with it. It's a form of emotional catharsis. When she shares, she wants to feel understood, acknowledged, and validated in her feelings, not necessarily in the logic of her complaint. She wants to hear, "That sounds incredibly frustrating," not, "Well, you should have done X." 2. Attention and connection. Let's be blunt. When a woman tells you her problems, it's a form of attention seeking, but not in a derogatory way. It's an invitation. It's a bid for deeper emotional connection. It's her opening up her inner world to you, providing an opportunity for you to step into a more intimate space. She's giving you a chance to prove you can handle her emotional complexity without getting overwhelmed or retreating. She's testing your capacity to be present, to listen, to empathize without getting sucked into the drama. 3. Testing your frame and leadership. This is where the red pill really comes into play. Her problems are often a subtle test. She's unconsciously assessing your emotional intelligence, your stability, your ability to lead without being prescriptive. Can you remain calm and grounded when she's in a state of emotional turbulence? Are you an anchor, or will you flail and try to fix everything, thereby demonstrating you're easily perturbed and possibly even controlling? A woman wants a man who can handle her chaos, not one who who tries to sterilize it. Your calm, steady presence, your unshakable frame is the solution she's unconsciously seeking. She wants to feel safe in your presence, and that safety comes from your ability to remain unreactive and strong in the face of her emotional storms. 4. Seeking a certain feeling from you, not a plan. Ultimately, when a woman shares her problems, she wants to feel something from you. Comfort, understanding, reassurance, a sense of he gets it. She's looking for a specific emotional resonance, not a step-by-step action plan. Your capacity to provide that feeling, to hold space for her without needing to intervene, is incredibly attractive. It communicates strength, wisdom, and a deep understanding of her feminine nature. The pitfalls, what not to do, and why it's deadly to attraction. Now let's dive into the common pitfalls, the exact behaviors that will sink your ship faster than a U-boat. These are the traps almost every man falls into because they're operating from their own masculine programming, completely oblivious to the female operating system. 1. The fix-it trap. This is the most prevalent and damaging mistake. You jump straight to solutions. You should do X. Why don't you try Y? This is unattractive because it's condescending. It implies she's incapable of solving her own problems, that she needs your superior intellect to navigate her life. You were framing yourself as her father figure, her coach, her IT support, anything but her sexual partner. Women are repulsed by men who treat them like helpless children. You're inadvertently telling her, I don't trust your intelligence or your agency, so let me step in and solve this for you. And that, my friend, is a one-way ticket to the friend zone, where you'll spend your days dispensing unsolicited advice and receiving precisely zero sexual interest. 2. Minimizing her feelings. It's not that bad. You're overreacting. Just shake it off. This is a quick way to shut down any future vulnerability. You're telling her her feelings are invalid, that her emotional experience is trivial. Women need to feel their emotions are understood and respected, even if they seem illogical to your masculine brain. When you minimize, you create a barrier. She learns that you're not a safe space for her true self, and she will retreat, build walls, and share less with you. You become a repository for surface-level pleasantries, not a trusted confidant. 3. One-upping or making it about you. Oh, you think that's bad? Let me tell you about my boss. This is a classic ego move, and it's infuriatingly dismissive. When she's trying to express her experience, pivoting the conversation to your struggles shows a severe lack of empathy and a self-centeredness that screams low value. Her problems are her problems. Your role is not to compete, but to be present for her. 4. Becoming her therapist. You're not paid for this. You are not her mental health professional. Do not start asking leading questions, delving into childhood trauma, or offering deep psychological analysis. That desexualizes the interaction immediately. Your role is not to dissect her psyche, but to be her masculine rock. The moment you start acting like her therapist, you've removed yourself from the realm of potential lovers and placed yourself squarely in the category of clinical support. She'll stop seeing you as a man she can be attracted to and start seeing you as a professional she might pay. The path to power. What to do, the Hades method. Alright, so if you're not fixing it, not minimizing it, and not becoming her shrink, what do you do? This is where you elevate yourself. This is where you become the man she wants to tell her problems to, because your response is so uniquely attractive. 1. Active listening with amused detachment. The physicals. Maintain eye contact, nod occasionally, lean in slightly. These are basic indicators that you're engaged. Don't be checking your phone or glancing around the room. Give her your full attention. Your internal state. This is crucial. Internally, you should not be panicking or gearing up to solve anything. Your mindset should be one of fascinating human drama. You're an interested observer, a calm, unreactive force. Think of yourself as the steady, unmoving mountain, while the river of her emotions flows around you. Your goal is to understand her experience of the problem, not the problem's solution. Let her talk, let her vent. Your internal monologue should be something like, interesting, tell me more about how you're perceiving this. Tell me about your feelings. The detachment. This doesn't mean you're cold. It means you're not invested in the outcome of her problem. You're invested in understanding her. You are detached from the need to fix, which allows you to be truly present. 2. Validating feelings, not logic. Once she started to vent, your responses should focus entirely on validating her emotional experience. You're acknowledging her feelings, not necessarily agreeing with her assessment of the situation or endorsing her perspective as factual. Phrases to use. That sounds incredibly frustrating. I can absolutely see why you'd feel that way. Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. It's completely understandable that you'd be upset about that. That must be really weighing on you. Notice the pattern. These phrases don't offer solutions. They don't take sides. They simply reflect back her emotional state, letting her know you've heard her and that her feelings are valid to her. This is powerful. It makes her feel seen, heard, and understood without you having to lift a finger to solve anything. 3. Maintaining your frame. Throughout this process, you must remain calm, unreactive, and grounded. Do not get sucked into her emotional vortex. If she's upset, you remain steady. If she's frustrated, you remain composed. You are her emotional anchor, not her fellow drowning person. Your presence should subtly communicate, I've got this, and I've got you emotionally, but I am not fixing your life, nor do I need to. This is the essence of masculine polarity. Your calm strength allows her the space to be emotionally expressive without consequence. 4. The "so what's your next move" technique. This is an advanced maneuver to be deployed judiciously. After she is thoroughly vented and you've validated her feelings and there's a natural lull in her outpouring, you can gently, even playfully, turn the agency back to her. When to deploy. This isn't for the initial stages of her venting. Wait until she's had her full say, until the emotional steam has started to dissipate. Its purpose. This technique subtly places the responsibility and the power back in her hands. It reinforces that you're not her personal assistant, nor are you going to carry her burdens. It also signals that you expect her to be a capable individual, which is incredibly attractive. Examples. Interesting. So, after all that, what do you think is the best way you can approach this? That's a lot to deal with. What's your plan to tackle that head on? Knowing all that, what's your next move? If she seems truly stuck, you can offer, if you had to pick one thing to do about it right now, what would it be? This isn't you telling her what to do, it's you prompting her to identify her own path. It's empowering, it respects her autonomy, and crucially, it keeps you out of the fixer role while still demonstrating your engaged presence. 5. Leveraging vulnerability for deeper connection, the escalation. Her sharing of problems, her vulnerability, is an invitation. It's a door opening. Don't just stand there staring at it, step through. Physical touch, calibrated. A gentle, comforting hand on her arm, a soft squeeze on her shoulder, or even just holding her hand if the context is right. This isn't a sexual advance in that moment, but a gesture of intimate connection and comfort. It communicates, I'm here, I'm present, and I care. Eye contact. Beyond just listening, make deep, understanding, slightly playful eye contact. Let your eyes convey, I see you, I get it, you're a beautiful mess, and I find it compelling. In fact, I kinda like this side of you. This projects confidence and a quiet mastery over the situation. Shifting the subject after she's vented. Once the emotional wave has passed, don't dwell on the problem. Smoothly transition to something lighter, more engaging, or more intimate. Well, that's enough of that for now. Let's talk about something more interesting. What was the funniest thing that happened to you today? Or, seeing you get so passionate about that, it's kinda hot. Use with caution and only if you've built rapport. This demonstrates that you're not going to let her problems define the entire interaction or drag down your collective mood. You're leading her back to a more positive, attractive space. The underlying red pill. Why this works. This Hades method isn't just about being a good listener. It's about projecting high value and cultivating attraction. 1. It demonstrates high value. By not immediately jumping to fix her, you demonstrate that you are not easily swayed, not a pleaser, and not desperate for her approval. You are a leader, capable of holding your frame, and your presence is valuable enough without needing to perform manual labor. Most men will try to fix, you stand apart. This rarity alone makes you more attractive. 2. It differentiates you. As I said, 99% of men will try to fix her. You, by understanding and applying this technique, become a rare breed. You become the man who can truly see and hear her without trying to change her. This is a profound differentiator. 3. It builds attraction. Women are drawn to men who can handle their emotional complexity without being overwhelmed. Your calm, steady, unreactive presence in the face of her emotional expression is incredibly attractive. It signals strength, maturity, and a deep understanding of the feminine psyche. It builds trust and a sense of emotional safety. She thinks, he can handle me. 4. It reinforces masculine polarity. Your grounded, stable, logical, yet empathetic presence provides the perfect masculine counterpoint to her fluid, emotional, expressive feminine energy. This polarity is the engine of attraction. When you try to match her emotional state or become her girlfriend by commiserating, you destroy that polarity. 5. It's a test. Her problems are often a subconscious test of your strength, your patience, your character. Can you remain a strong, capable man when her world feels like it's crumbling? Can you be her rock without becoming her rescuer? Pass this test correctly, and you pass the bigger test. Is this man worthy of my respect and attraction? Practical scenarios and examples. Let's quickly run through a few common scenarios from my personal experience. Early dating scenario. You're on a second date and she starts talking about a problem at work. Wrong response. You should tell your boss XYZ. Have you thought about going to HR? You're now her HR consultant. Right response, Hades method. That sounds like a real nightmare. I can totally see why that would piss you off. Nodding, eye contact, perhaps a slight smirk. Wait for more venting. So, after all that, what's your take on how you're going to navigate that? Prompting her, not solving. If she asks for advice, what do you think you want to do about it? Or, I trust you to figure it out. You seem pretty capable to me. This subtly empowers her and keeps you out of the advice-giving role. Friend zone scenario and how to avoid it. You've been friend zoned before because you're always the nice guy who offers solutions. She calls you distraught about a breakup. Wrong response. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. He was such a jerk anyway. You should get back out there. I know some good guys. You're now her gay best friend or her wingman. Right response, Hades method. Damn, that's rough. I can only imagine how much that stings. Let her cry, vent. You know, it's okay to feel like absolute shit right now. Just lean into it. Validating the feeling. Then a comforting hand on her arm, a steady gaze. You're strong. You'll get through this. It sucks now, but you'll come out the other side. This is comfort, validation, and strength without solving her breakup or telling her what to do next. It maintains your masculine frame. Long-term relationship scenario. Your girlfriend comes home furious about an argument with her mother. Wrong response. You know your mom. Just ignore her. Why do you let her get to you so much? Dismissing her feelings, subtly blaming her. Right response, Hades method. Whoa, sounds like it was a doozy.
Tell me everything. That's infuriating. I can feel the frustration radiating off you right now. Hold her, let her vent into your shoulder. After she's calm, you're a force of nature when you're fired up. Remind me never to piss you off. Humor, light teasing, shifting the emotional state. The nuances of when actual problem solving might be appropriate are rare, and here's the kicker. It's only appropriate when she explicitly asks for a solution. Not when she vents, not when she's upset, but when she clearly states, "What do you think I should do?" Even then, I'd often turn it back to her first. What are your initial thoughts? Or what options have you considered? Only if she genuinely seems stuck and still explicitly requests your input do you offer a concise, high-level suggestion, framed as, you could consider X, but ultimately, it's your call. Never forget this. Your value isn't in your ability to be her handyman for life's little woes. Your value is in your presence, your frame, your emotional strength, and your leadership. When a woman tells you her problems, it means she trusts you enough to show you a piece of her vulnerability. Your job is not to fix that piece, but to hold it gently, acknowledge it, and then remind her through your calm, confident demeanor that she is capable and that you are her rock, not her repairman. Internalize this, practice it, and watch your interactions with women transform. This isn't about being manipulative. It's about understanding the raw, undeniable psychology that drives human connection. Use it wisely. That's all for today. Based Hades, out.